All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. A lot of Vikings news out there. We're going to go over every damn nugget. Get your butts over to minigrown.com. Boom, boom, boom. Be sure to use that promo code ONELUP. One LUP when you check out. 50% off, made right here in Minnesota. Great drinks, great gummies, great
everything.
Great
everything.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this latest Vikings news and nuggets. And first thing coming out about Kwesi. Kwesi's contract seems to be quite the question mark. Mark Wolf said conversations are ongoing. Boy, that's breaking news.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. If I was going to bet, I'd say something happens after the draft, but it wouldn't surprise me if a deal was announced like the week of the draft, kind of like a feel-good thing going into it. So that wouldn't surprise me, but my money would be it's going to be after the draft.
Yeah, I'm starting to think, like, if it hasn't happened yet, what's the draft matter? And I think we're in for a long haul here. We'll see. I did see that, like, technically his contract doesn't expire until after next year's draft, which was a little surprising to me. So he could have 2 drafts under his belt before he's extended. So we'll see. But, man, I think something would have been done by now.
I don't know. I think they're probably in a hurry. That's why they have an extra year. They don't have to do anything right away. So they're talking. They'll figure something out. But I think it's going to get done soon. I think the draft, I mean, you can't say the draft doesn't matter. It's another evaluation period. Like, how did it go? Like, if it gets rave reviews, maybe that'll, spark the wheels into motion.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, the week of the draft, like, they got enough stuff to think about. They aren't going to all of a sudden hash out a contract on the week of the draft. So I think it'll be a little longer term.
We will see what happens. Kevin O'Connell was over there at the old coaches meeting thing, and he said right now, this moment, they would likely run a rotation of Blake Brandel and Michael Juergens at left guard. He did say there's a long way to go, and there's still some options, including the draft. Left guard, Brandel, Juergens, no mention of Walter Rouse being there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I think Walter Rouse is a little bit of a long shot to all of a sudden, like, be a play at guard. I know there's talk of him moving inside, but love Walter Rouse, friend of the show. He really couldn't be active. So, like, I don't see him all of a sudden being a super good guard. Juergens, Brandel makes sense, but I love what he said as far as there's still some options out there. So, man, I hope they find an option.
Yeah, whether that's at pick 24 with like a Gray Zabel or maybe an old crusty veteran like Brandon Scherf. Definitely some options out there. And leave the table open. KLC being a little sly out there.
Yeah, he's giving us a little nugget there to get excited about. He also talked about Harrison Smith. It was a great interview. I don't even remember who it was with, but he was talking about it, and he said, we weren't allowed to talk football, and all of a sudden Harrison Smith texted me, said, yeah, I got one more year left in me. Man, if you could love this guy anymore.
Yeah.
The fact that he just says, I got one more year left in me, let's go. And Kevin O'Connell, he said it perfectly. He said, I've never played a game without Harrison Smith on this team, and it's going to be painful when that actually happens, but it won't be this year.
It won't be this year. You mentioned, like, how much can you love Harrison Smith? Well, it was clear how much KOC loves Harrison Smith. Like, you mentioned how he hasn't coached without him, and he's almost getting like choked up talking about what a big part he is of not just the team, the organization as a whole, what he means to the Minnesota Vikings for going on 15 years now with the team. So he will be that Viking for many, many young fans. Like, that's what they think about when they think of the Vikings. Be Harrison Smith.
Be the Joey Browner of the 2015 to 20, whenever the hell he was drafted.
2012. Good year. Great movie. Flores.
No, horrible movie. Very bad movie, actually.
KLC also said Flores identified Isaiah Rodgers pretty early as an undrafted free agent, or as a unrestricted free agent target. He said when Flo has that kind of tone in his voice about guys, he's been pretty damn accurate. And KLC sees Rodgers as an impact guy. If
you haven't saddled up to the Isaiah Rodgers train yet, you're going to be late to the game. He's going to be the next Van Ginkel. He really is. The dude is going to have a fantastic season. I'm all in on Isaiah Rodgers.
Flores wanted him, got him, and now KOC just says, you know what, Flores talks like that about a guy. He also is backing that just because he trusts Brian Flores so much. So, yeah, it's on Isaiah Rodgers if we're going to love him or not, but he's definitely going to have a huge role in this defense next year.
No, he's going to play his balls off. His balls are going to be laying on the field of U.S. Bank. It's going to be fantastic.
Get him as a giveaway.
You know what? I'll put whatever we have to get those things, but get excited about this guy. Another guy to get excited about, Ryan Kelly. They were saying like this guy wasn't even on the map. They weren't even thinking about signing him, and all of a sudden just like happened. And not only that, but Ryan Kelly obviously had a big part of Will Fries coming to town. He helped recruit him. Will Fries, it continues to come out that he had a lot of suitors out there, but the Ryan Kelly signing definitely helped.
Yeah, Vikings did not plan to sign both of those guys. They got them both. Ryan Kelly, you gotta love that. Hey, I'll go get my buddy here to come play for you guys too. The convincing factor when you have all these guys coming after you, throwing money at you. Where do I go? Where do you go? To make your head spin. You got a teammate, guy you know, guy you trust, a guy you like. Ryan Kelly saying, "Hey, let's go to Minnesota with me." Made it a lot easier for Mr. Fries.
Well, also it's not like we lowballed him. He got a ton of money, so that had a lot to do with it. But Ryan Kelly was just the old cherry on top.
What a big old cherry he is. Ben Gosling said the Vikings trade for backup quarterback. He wouldn't rule out Kirk Cousins as an option, but there was steam earlier this week about Cousins being potentially traded to the Browns after the draft. So who knows? But Kirk Cousins, let's just say, what would you think about Kirk Cousins coming in to be a JJ's mentor?
I think it'd be funny. Ben Gosling knows a lot more than us, but I think he's full of shit. I don't think there's any way this happens. 0% chance it happens. I think he would much rather go to a team like the Browns and actually play. Like Kirk Cousins isn't at the point yet where he just wants to hang out and sit on the bench.
Well, he got to do that last year for.
Well, that wasn't because of his decision. I'm just saying this is his decision. Like he would have to stay in this.
He does have to waive a no trade clause, so I think he would know where he's going to do that. I don't know what the contract would look like, how much you'd be on the hook for with the trade. That's what makes me concerned about the Brown. Not concerned, but like, how can they afford to pay Deshaun Watson that money and also Kirk Cousins huge ass contract?
We're not paying Kirk Cousins huge money to come here and be a backup. So if
you did the trade, I'm staying within the scenario. Like I don't know how much of that contract you'd be on the hook for.
Yeah, and the reason this doesn't make sense to me is like money-wise, giving up something for Kirk Cousins. If he was cut and he was a free agent, then there's a conversation to be had. But I just don't see that happening at all.
I don't know, but it's after the draft. We're gonna probably have about 8 extra picks, or the trades we're gonna do.
We will see. I'm not holding my breath on that one. I'm still thinking it's gonna be somebody weird or gross, like some old timer, and that's just fine. Kwesi coming out, also coming out and saying that they're just maybe looking at best available at 24, not only 24, but just in the draft in general. So buckle up. I mean, if somebody is there, even a wide receiver, like I think anything except obviously a quarterback and probably an edge rusher is on the table at 24.
Well, I mean, you got to believe them because after the draft, no matter who they take, they will say he was top on our board. But yeah, you hope it's true. You hope it's honest. We've hit so many needs in free agency. Why not truly take the guy who's just, Mel Kiper's best available player? Let's just go off that and take that guy, see how that works.
Jesus, I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Go the best available. It'll make us feel better.
Can't be worse than Kwesi's.
No, it'll best available just adds that big old question mark. Vikings are already a big question mark when it comes to mock drafts and the draft in general. Him saying that just adds a double question mark.
Definitely adds a double. There's also some belief within the Vikings that they could get an extra comp pick for Trent Sherfield or Johnny Munt, depending on how they perform. So, I mean, I've seen this shot down by some other, bloggers who really dive into the comp formula and saying how hard it would be for Sherfield to make that impact. But the Vikings believe it, so I'm going to believe it too. Extra comp pick, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look into the Munt one. That would almost be like a miracle. But the Trent Sherfield one, as far as like when he hits certain numbers, he gets more money. So that has a lot to do with it. We'll see. I mean, whenever I'm tuning into a Broncos game, throw that ball to old Trent. You throw it to him a ton because I want a 7th round pick.
Yeah, I mean, there's Sutton, there's Mims, there's that Villali
No,
guy.
There's Trent Sherfield, and that's it. Get your ass open. Catch some balls.
I didn't see it would be a pretty late one, right? Did you say 7? I mean, it would be.
It would probably be it would be a very late pick, but it would be a comp
shit.
pick. No, I don't care. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is your Vikings news. Speaking of all for it, be all for some mini grown gummies. Promo code 1LUP, 50% off. Look at those things. Look delicious.
50% off. Hit it up after a big old day of just shoveling snow. Nothing better than popping a gummy and just putting on the tube.
I gotta go back and do it again here in a little bit. Guys, where you're going to Mini Grown and ordering yourself some delicious gummies with the 1LUP promo code. Remember this, the entire state of Wyoming only has 2 escalators.
Jesus.